Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector and I am back. I do have some new pickups here that I want to go through with you, but I also want to talk about a series that I'm going to be launching that's going to be going over a number of Sega Genesis games that impacted me. I know for a lot of people, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like all of the Nintendo consoles and games, I know for a lot of people, those systems and games really represent their childhood. And I think that's what makes Nintendo so important to so many people. But for me, Sega Genesis was actually more important. Sega as a whole was more important to me as a gamer growing up than Nintendo was. And I'm not sure if it was just the types of games that Sega was making versus the games that Super Nintendo was making, but Super Nintendo always, or Nintendo in general, always had more of a clean cut, family friendly, childish kind of feel to it. Everything about Nintendo, everything from the way the console looked to the games, to the flagship games for the system, it was just, you could tell that it catered more to kids, right? Whereas Sega just always had more of an edge. Sega was just more edgy. Everything about Sega, from the way the console itself looked. I mean, the console didn't even look like a kid's console. It looked more like an adult console. And then even the way the games, looked, it had more of an edge. And I had a lot of older siblings and cousins, and I think that's why they gravitated more towards Sega. So I just naturally gravitated more towards Sega, and so Sega was just more important to me. Doesn't mean that Mario wasn't important, doesn't mean that, or Mario, however you say it, doesn't mean that all of the amazing Nintendo games like Kirby, and there's a ton of stuff that I love from Nintendo, but just Sega was just, it meant more, and it had more of an impact. And I think it's because of just how dynamic the games were. But I'm doing a lot of jabbering and blabbering, and you're gonna hear more about this as I go through my Sega series. Not sure what I'm gonna call it yet, but I really want to spend this fall and winter kind of just diving through some of those Sega games. So I'm excited about that. Still going to be coming at you with some pickups videos and just showing you what I'm getting. But as you all know, things are slowing down now. So not as much, yard sales, thrift stores are kind of drying up a little bit. And now is the time when you're kind of having to get a little bit more creative when it comes to building your collection. So luckily for me, I did have a bunch of pre-orders that came in recently, and I'm going to show some of them to you now. So we're going to start off with a little 3DS pre-order that came in, and that is Senran Kagura Deep Crimson. So yes, this is a 3DS game. I think either Limited Run or Strictly Limited put this out. Can't remember right now. You can let me know down in the comments. But I think these, like Limited Run, Strictly Limited, I think they're the only ones that are still making games for the 3DS. I could be wrong. Again, let me know. I know Andros Dunos 2 came out. I know there were a few others that came out for the 3DS. But this is a cool one. I'm not super into the Senran series, but they all have like a little bit of that like kind of hack and slash vibe to it, and I think that's what draws me to these games. So pick this one up for the 3DS, and I'm glad I'm glad I got it. I'm seeing this already going online and people trying to resell it for crazy prices. So this is a cool one. If you can still get your hands on it at retail, I would recommend it. Now I have some Switch pre-orders that came in, and I don't really do like the special edition limited run pre-orders anymore. I don't feel like the coloring books and the stickers are worth it. If you're giving me something a little extra, like in Hunt Down, you got an action figure, some pins, some patches that you could sew like on a jacket, that stuff I'm down with. But if it's just a coloring book and some stickers, you can keep that. So I had some 3 pre-orders that came in, and I just got the standard versions. I'll go through them with you now. First one is Kojin by who's this by? This is by Gem Drops. I think they're the ones that put this out, but I picked this up from Limited Run, and this is pretty much a 2D hack and slash pixel style game here. Kind of falls along the lines of like a like a Blasphemous kind of. I am super into that style of game. So Kojin fell into that category and I picked it up. That's a cool one. Here's an even better one, in my opinion. I can't wait to dive into this. But this is Astalon. So Astalon, Tears of the Earth. So this is another side-scrolling hack and slash style game, 2D pixelated. Got some pretty cool screenshots there. I'm gonna try to bring this right up into the camera so you can see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, if you look at those screenshots, just some really cool colorful graphics, that 2D pixel art style, I love it. So Astalon is one that I picked up, and that's a pre-order for the Switch. Definitely check that one out if you can. And then this series I'm a fan of ever since I played the first one. When I first got my Switch, it was one of the first games I picked up, was Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X. And so they came out with Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X Part 2 for the Switch. And this was one that I definitely wanted to check out. Feels like Mega Man X. If you've ever played any of the Mega Man X series games or like Zero, that's what this is. And I definitely recommend you checking it out. If you've played Gunvolt, you kind of know what to expect out of this. And again, it's more like a run and gun kind of shooter Mega Man style. So pretty cool game there. All right. And then we had one more pre-order that came in that I was actually really excited about. I didn't think that this game would get another physical release, but it did. And Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a staple in video games, period. It helped define a whole genre. And now we have it again on PS4 in the form of Castlevania Requiem, which will come with Castlevania Symphony of the Night, as well as Castlevania Rondo of Blood. So really two amazing titles. Can't beat it. And I think you can get this online right now. Well, you could have got it for $30. I think it was $29 limited run. So this came in. I don't know if they released this for the Switch, but I know it was available on PlayStation. So this is a Konami classic. So definitely check it out if you can. Symphony of the Night. Like I said, that defined a whole genre of video games. So definitely check that out. And that does it for the pre-orders. Now let's get into some retro games that we got. And we'll start off with the 360, right? So when I look at the Xbox 360, we got Golden Axe Beast Rider. And I'm a fan of the Golden Axe series. You'll see that when I go through my Sega Genesis series, just kind of diving through some of those games. But Golden Axe Beast Rider, this game is basically a 3D hack and slash, open world adventure game. Pretty cool. You know, you got your weapons, your power-ups, your special magic attacks, and I'm all about that on a Saturday afternoon. So Golden Axe Beast Rider was added to the 360 collection. A very inexpensive game on top of that. And then got some GameCube action. So first up, picked this up, saw it lower than what it normally goes for. I think this is like a $40 game. I think I got it for about 50% off of that. Not too bad. So Sonic DX. I do have Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast, but I think the GameCube version comes with a little bit of extra or maybe something different. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I don't want to be a liar. But this is one that I saw, felt like a good deal. So I picked it up on the GameCube. Is the player's choice version. I don't really care about that stuff, though, especially when it comes to Nintendo. Player's choice, regular, whatever. As long as the game is in there and I can play it, let's do it. So got Sonic DX in there. And then the next one that I got here, this one I'm really happy about. This is Sonic Gems. So this allows me to get access to 2 Sega Saturn games that I'm pretty much priced out of at this point. And those 2 games are Sonic, well, really one game. It's Sonic R. I'm not paying the price that they're asking for Sonic R anymore. So I felt like this was a great way to get that. I do have Sega CD, but I haven't picked up Sonic CD yet. So this is a really great way to play that. Then you've got Sonic the Fighters. I had never heard about that, but I guess this is like an arcade classic game. And then you get 6 bonus Game Gear classics. The one that really sticks out to me is Tails Sky Patrol. I've always wanted to play Tails Sky Patrol, and now I can via Sonic Gems. So this is a great way to pick up and play some of those hard to find or hard to reach Sonic games that are on some of those obscure systems like the Sega Saturn or the Game Gear. And I know GameCube is real popular. So this is one that I would definitely recommend for Sonic fans and GameCube fans alike, because this is really cool. So pick that one up. And then last but not least, We were just talking about Sega CD, and you know me, I love my shmups and my beat 'em ups, and I was able to get a really decently priced copy of Final Fight CD. Unfortunately, this doesn't come in like the standard Sega CD case. Would have loved that. I think Final Fight CD came in one of those like paper cardboard cases, so I only got the disc, but I did test it. It is fun. The music on the Sega CD makes it worth it. There are so many games that are on the Sega CD that you can play on the Genesis or maybe even other systems, but then the background music just isn't the same. The Sega CD just takes the music to a whole new level. That's one of the reasons why I love it. And that does it for this week's pickups. Like I said, I am going to be diving into a Sega Genesis series and really just looking at everything that was going on in life around the time when these games came out. You know, these games came out in the early 90s, the era of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Michael Jackson was still big at that time. You had all those pop culture hit movies, and depending on, you know, where you were in society, you know, these games came out and at different times of our lives when there was so much going on, and just when I look at them, all the rush of nostalgia from those times comes back to me. So I'm happy to share those with you, and I'm looking forward to that series. But until then, I am the Y2K Collector. Thanks for stopping by on a Sunday. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Take it easy.